Today we are getting on the home stretch of getting these journals done, and tomorrow we'll be putting finishing touches on this one, pockets and that kind of thing. I don't know, we're gonna see how it unmolds. I've been doing candy too much. How it unwraps, there we go. And then we still have some gluing to do on our last piece, so maybe we'll get another little project going that we can finish between today and tomorrow. And then we'll have 3 projects done in a week. How awesome is that? I mean, all of us artists have that one project that has been sitting there staring at us in the face, and we just don't know how to go forward. But sometimes the way forward is also the way back. It's a line from Labyrinth, if you don't know. And if you do know, kudos to you. But sometimes I feel like I just need to just do stuff to get stuff done. Okay, let's get our spacer out, and then we're going to slowly peel this away. And I say slowly because we don't want to rip the paper, which I just did twice. Because even though parchment is built not to stick, sometimes it does. There we go. And then you have the little niblets left there. Now this is really nice and down. It's not exactly straight, but you know what? Handmade. And again, we have our little spacer in here, so let's get that out. At least we didn't have this stuck to it, because paper we can make work. See. A little bit sticking there, but that's okay. That we can hit with the glue eraser, I think. And then we have this guy. There we go. And this guy. Maybe. Come in. There we go. And then we'll take this apart. And this is not going to lay flat, but we can get it to lay flat-ish just by giving it some love here. You see, this will open up. And then we have the spacer that needs to come out. And like I said, it'll lay flat-ish. And we'll get that piece. Let me open up the next one, I think. There we go. See, that lays nice and flat because it's the center. And then we'll take that spacer out. There we go. No sewing required, just some patience and some glue. Glue I have, patience not always. See, we're a little bit crooked here, but I think because this is such a wide spine, that's actually kind of a good thing. It's a little bit off, but we can take some washi tape and just disguise that. Same with the front. We can just take a piece of washi tape and disguise that we're a little crooked because it feels straight. But it just, that's the nature of really wet glue, is it slides around. This one's nice and straight, but we'll probably still put some washi tape down. In fact, that's what we'll probably do right now. So this is what we have for our book. And it's already poofy. So imagine getting this all filled up with lovely things. So this is kind of a different way of doing tab binding. See, I might come in here with some, oh, what's it called? matte medium, open it up and just kind of paint over some of these more gluey areas. I'm going to get this little piece of paper out of here, maybe, hopefully. No, don't rip on me. There we go, there's one piece. I always work so close to myself and then I realize, hey, the light's over here, silly goose. So we'll peel this paper up. There we go. I think we might be able to get that one better from the front. Yep. So let's find some washi tape that we can use. And we'll have this one will be, we'll just have to wait for the washi tape. Good Lord, words are hard. Washi tape to set up a little bit before we come in and do all the rest of the stuff. And it looks kind of plain and blah, but we can come in with stamps. We can, yeah, that's, actually that is kind of funny. Anyway, it's kind of funny because it's straight here, but it's crooked here. I don't understand. All right, so let's find some washi tape real quick. Okay. Yeah, come on. There we go. I kind of like the wider one. How would that look in there? I don't know if I like the red, but we do have red thread here, so that'll, yeah, well, let's use that one. Okay, so that little piece of lace got glued down. So we'll just tape it from there to there and call it good. Okay. Actually, we've got washi tapes to put back in here. There we go. Now, if you don't have washi tape, you can take a piece of masking tape, put it on a piece of parchment, do some alcohol inks, do some regular inks, do some fancy stuff to it if you want. Stamp on it, color it, do all the things. So we're going to take this washi tape and get it about where we want it. And then I'm going to rip the edge off. Try that again from this end. Just so it's not perfectly straight. So let's start here. Oh, Pete just wants to stick to me. All right, come on now. There we go. And then let's put it on this piece of parchment. Do it like that. And then brown, and I need some brown ink. I moved all my inks the other night because I was working on some fabric and I didn't want to get ink all over my fabric. I because even though they have lids on them, I still manage to get ink on things. I'm just that talented. So we're just going to ink the edge of this. Oop. Just kind of, just in case the washi tape was kind of white, I don't want it to be white because I don't want it to stand out. And then I'm going to take this end and we're going to just kind of straighten it out a little bit. There we go. And we'll get the ink there and there. So I'm going to put this challenge out to y'all. By the end of 2025, let's start 2026 with a clean slate. So all those little projects that you have around your house that are art projects. I'm not telling you to go out and buy new windows because I don't know anybody who has money for that. But anyway, or if you live in an apartment, it's not really a project for you. But find all the little projects that you have that you've had tucked away and pull them out. Pull them out and get her done. So I want this to kind of go like that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna put some glue on this washi tape because I've kind of wrecked the adhesive on it. So I'm just gonna rub it across. So, and you know what? Find me on Instagram or tag me in a YouTube post if you're a YouTuber and you create content. Tag me in it. I want to see all your projects that you have gotten completed. Something, and if you need direction, I'm working on getting a Discord server going, and I have it going. The link is in the description. I'd really love to build a community there, because Facebook is Facebook. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's not the greatest either. The thing I love about Discord is you see every post. Like you can go in and follow a conversation and get reminded of a conversation that you were following. You don't have to sacrifice your precious time to try and track down a conversation that you were following. And you see everything. Like if you make a post, everyone in our group, everyone in the Discord server will see it. You know, well, not everyone. If you're a member only and you post in the members only space, only other members will see it. I do have a membership, and I haven't really pushed it because I'm in transition right now, so I can't dedicate the kind of time that I want to dedicate to it. But in another month or so, I will, and I'll start pushing it again. And I'm excited for that because I'm sorry, but Facebook lost my support several years ago. And I say support as in Meta. I'm still on Instagram, and yes, I'm still on Facebook, but don't try and contact me on Facebook because I'm not there. I check my Facebook whenever I'm going on Facebook Marketplace to find art supplies or furniture to flip, or I'm on there maybe twice a month if it's a good month. But yeah, I want people to be able to have free conversations and there's no ads on except for the Nitro ads for Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, do a YouTube search and you'll find out it's not just for gamers. I always say it's Slack for other people. So if you have Slack at work, it works just like Slack. It's just not business orientated. And it is a little overwhelming learning a new process and a new platform. But y'all learned your platforms that you're on now. You didn't start off knowing everything that's there, right? Just like YouTube. You don't start off with 100,000 subscribers. You got to work your way there. You got to learn, you got to grow. And I like doing live streams for art because I want to be available to answer questions. So if you ever have a question and I'm on a live stream, even if it's not about what I'm live streaming about, even if it's about some project that you're in the middle of and you don't know what adhesive to use, or you don't know, you know, or you're questioning the direction of your project, ask me. I'll give you my advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your art because it's your art, but this is what I would do, you know? And I've been creating since I was knee-high to a grapefruit. I know how to do a lot of things. Am I a master at all the things? Heck no. But I know what's failed because I've been there, done that. I've got the t-shirt, the ball cap, and the coffee mug. Because that's how I roll. I try things. I'm not afraid to try things and fail. And I've tried things and failed on a live stream in front of 20, 30 people. I don't, you know what? We learn together. That's how artistry works. You can't keep yourself cooped up in a little hole in the wall. I mean, you can, but what fun is that? And I live in a small community. Our art community is small, but we're always helping each other with things. I mean, just yesterday I was in the Painted Raven and talking with Stephanie about a project because I was stuck. My dame couldn't bramage. You know, was it that Mikey says, I can't brain today, I have the dumb. Yeah, that's where I was at. In fact, that's what I need to put on a t-shirt. There we go. I'm going to put this on this side. Slide it down a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's right. My bone folder tool is downstairs because I was actually using it for what it's for. Because I've been sewing pillows. All right, I gotta have some other kind of tool that I can use. Hang on. Aha, we'll use this. This will work. This is a pole scraper. I didn't like it because it was too thin, so I brought it up to the studio. There we go. Oh, that, see, I think that looks cool. It gives some more visual interest. We're gonna put pockets in here. You know, we're gonna put either that or a belly band or something so it'll help kind of blend things in. We're gonna stamp on this. I mean, we can do all kinds of things. I think we're just gonna keep continuing with this and just keep adding to it and doing different tutorial-ish things. Like, create with me, work with me. We'll do things. I'm gonna put washi tape here, but what we're gonna do, I think that's about right. A little bit more, a little bit more. But what we're gonna do instead, because this is a smaller one, is we're gonna do the edge. It wants this. Why does, see, tape and I are not friends. I don't know why I put myself through this. Okay, so we're going to do this edge. Yeah. And fiddly little stuff. Okay, there we go. And I think in 2026, I'm going to start Artapalooza again. And if you don't know what Artapalooza is, I used to host other artists on my live stream. Like, we would all just get together and have one big Artapalooza, one big party every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Or was it 7? Was it 7 or 7:30? And I chose Wednesday nights because it seemed to be the best night to get everybody together. And we would have, one time we were having, 4 or 5 people on stage. I say on stage. We have 4 or 5 people, and then 20, 30 people in the audience, and we'd all just laugh and art and create together. And it was a grand time, and I miss it. And I haven't really done one with a group of people in almost 2 years. All right, we're gonna stick that one. I'm gonna stick this. When Clara passed away, it was kind of took the shine out of my bulb, and I think it'll be time to do that, but we'll see where we're at in 2026. I think it would be great to bring it back. I think it debuted in February 2021. I think February or March, and it was actually 2020 if I remember correctly. Now that I think about it. It was end of February, beginning of March of 2020, and it ran for 3 years. But then I lost 2 of my best friends, and other people were uncomfortable being around me, I guess, because they didn't know what to say. I don't know. I wish they would come back so we can see how we've all grown and changed. I think that's part of being a friend, But okay, now we need that. We need to put the lid on this. That's what we're doing. Hello, Darcy. Thank you. Thank you. I'll always be a big proponent for any kind of cancer. I lost 2 people to cancer. I lost 3 people to cancer last year. One was my friend Brenda. I have known her since I was knee-high to a grapefruit. She was my parents' friend. And she battled breast cancer for like 12 years. And then it just finally it started with breast cancer, and then it moved everywhere else. It came back in different spots. So always do your mammograms and your breast exams, y'all. Even if you're a man. And then Cheryl had colon cancer. And they didn't catch it. They thought it was her long COVID, because she had long COVID, and she was in her 70s, and she was an amazing human. And she will always live in a lot of people's hearts. She was one of those artists that was kind of behind the scenes and organization. She was everybody's mom. That's the best way. And I got the honor and pleasure of meeting her in 2022. So I met her through YouTube. And then Clara, you can still see Clara's channel, Clara Lawrence Art. Or is it just Clara Lawrence? I think it's Clara Lawrence Art. But just one video of hers and you'll know why I loved her so much. I always called her my art wife because we had a relationship that was closer than friends. Not that it was like anything intimate or romantic. It was just, I don't know how to describe it. We went through a lot of things together, and I was here with her, taking care of her. I was her personal chef and chief merriment maker. My job was morale. So between her and Mikey, I tried to keep them laughing, and I always tried to keep them well fed. So, and I'm just now coming out of all of that, ironically, with some of my sanity intact. And I couldn't have done it without the support of Mikey. Oh, I want to tear this, but oh my goodness. Clara and I were complete art opposites, though. She liked bright colors, and so I'm trying my darndest to bring in more bright colors. But it's a struggle. But with the candy, I started with candy this last couple weeks because I wanted to do something that would connect with more people and help create more happiness. Because you don't go to a candy store in a bad mood. If you do go in a candy store in a bad mood, it's because you want to get in a better mood. So, you know, Clara would be happy because I'm making her caramels. So, oh, that's just that's just the tip of the iceberg for me. And you know what? The thing that gets me through tough times like that is there's always someone out there that is having a hard time just like you, or maybe they even have it worse. At least I had a roof over my head, food in my belly, and just one person that loved me. And you know what? That's more than a lot of people out there that are homeless and feel isolated and alone. And I know this because I was homeless back in the early 2000s. So I know what it's like, and it can always be worse. So be grateful for what you have and move forward. All right. Speaking of moving forward, we're going to let this set up a little bit because I don't want to glue a pocket over the top of this until this is fully adhered. And that's going to take probably about an hour for it to really dry because this isn't porous anymore. So it's too, not like a non-porous and a porous surface trying to glue together. So even though it's glue stick, this is still, even though this is the first one, it's still really cold. So once it warms up, we'll come in and we'll start putting pockets in. You know, I thought maybe I could do some, a piece of ribbon or something, maybe with this lace on top of it, and do like a pen holder. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that would be kind of cool. Just like take some eyelets in between, and then, or that one funky ribbon that we found yesterday. That would be kind of cool in here. Or not ribbon, elastic. It was elastic that looked like ribbon. It's kind of sticky though, so I don't know. We'll see. Let me go grab the other book that we're working on, and we'll see what the time is and go from there. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so grateful you're still here with us. I hear those success stories, and they hit my heart harder now. Like, just I'm so grateful. I don't know a better word to say. I'm so grateful you're still here, and you have that story to share with us, because that's so positive and uplifting. That not, you know, you go through hell, but you're still here, and that's so wonderful. It's true about the candy store. Yes, yes. I mean, for real. How can you go into a candy store and be angry? And all the candies that I make are handmade. There is a candy store here in a town neighboring us. That's like all the like Pop Rocks and Pez and all those fun things that I can't make, because Pop Rocks I can't make because it's high compression. They basically take the candy and compress air into it. Like it's not even air, it's like hydrogen or something. I don't even know. But that's what makes them pop. But I can make fizzy candies, and I'm going to make fizzy candies. I've tested peanut brittle, marshmallows. I did my first batch of sour grape candies last night, and I've been recording the whole process, and I'm starting another channel. If you're going to be in Dallas in October, let me know, because I'm bringing a bunch of samples up to Vid Summit. And yeah, so stage 4 cancer that took her in 2011. Here's the thing. We all are going to die. It's how we die and the memory we leave behind. That's most important. Not so much how we die, but the memory we leave behind, the imprint, the footprint that we leave behind. And that's why I started this channel part of the reason why I started this channel. I was doing acrylic pouring when I started this channel, and furniture refinishing. And I moved to an apartment on the 3rd floor with no elevator, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to do the furniture refinishing anymore. And, not big pieces like I like to do, like dressers and buffet tables and stuff, because I lived alone and I didn't have the second person to help me carry that stuff up. All right, let's see what is going on with this guy. Well, he's still flexible, so we're going to let it be. He's not like this one that's nice and set in. I think it's because I left it closed. That's okay. We'll make it work. So, yeah. These are jelly print papers that I decoupaged onto. This is an old wallpaper book. You can see right here. So, yeah, how much wall covering do you need? This is an old wallpaper book that I got at Menards when I still lived in Minnesota. Don't you know? I still have some of the wallpaper, and I knew in the beginning I wanted to make this into a thing to hold my stencils. So that's what we're doing. It's the biggest journal I've ever done, and it's not even a journal. So, yeah. All right, this is why it did this funny thing. It's okay. So let's flip this, make sure that this can fold. Okay, we're good. No one's going to see the inside bottom anyway, so I'm not worried about it. All right, now is for the last part here. We're going to glue this down. We had a penny candy store. We had a Ben Franklin. Do y'all know what Ben Franklin is? It's kind of like a mini Walmart. It had a little bit of everything. But we had penny candies in there. Well, they weren't really penny candies. They were, it was like a quarter it was like 15 cents for a Laffy Taffy, if I remember correctly. Thanks for dropping in, Darcy. I appreciate you. But we had penny candy. My mom used to work at the Ben Franklin store, and that's where she got really into sewing and crafty stuff. She also worked at the bakery. That's where I learned my love for baking. I'd sneak in and watch. I think his name, I want to say the baker's name was Clayton. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. I was really little. I don't really remember. But it was, the gingerbread cafe was right next door and the same people owned it. And now Teresa still owns it, I think. I love that place. I love going in there and just seeing all the goodies that I wanted to have but couldn't. All right, so we're going to do it this way. We're going to lay it down. So we can put a heart in there. Just to add some extra love. Okay. And then we're gonna spread it out. And this is just, I get these at Dollar Tree. I was gonna order them in bulk and then have them on my Ko-Fi, you know, just basically, hey, these are, you know, $2 plus shipping if you want to have one of your own. Because I've noticed that some Dollar Trees don't have them. And some Dollar Trees do. And some Dollar Trees are like awesome and some are like going into Walmart. I say that about Walmart because the last, I don't know, for the last 5 years, the Walmarts that I lived by, and this is no shame to anybody who works at Walmart. I am not throwing any shame on you. I used to work at Walmart when I was like 18, 19 years old. But I feel like the energy there is just, and this is just me being me, the energy there is just so off. And I don't know what it is. And that's also the reason why I quit shopping at Hobby Lobby. Well, there's other reasons too, but the energy there just feels so off. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's a big box store and I get overwhelmed and I don't like it. But I go into H-E-B and I'm fine. I haven't shopped at a Target other than select few things before Amazon was a thing. Since, I don't even know when was the last time, like early 2000s, because there was a Christmas where they didn't allow the Salvation Army bell ringers in because they thought it was a nuisance to their shoppers. And the Salvation Army lost like $30 million in donations that year because of that. And I was like, you know what, Target? If it's a nuisance to your shoppers, then let them say that. Don't assume. I don't know if it was actually 30 million. That's just a number that I pulled off the top of my head because that's kind of what I think it was. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. And I felt really bad for them because Salvation Army actually helped me out when I needed them. And I had my kids. My kids were little and I was struggling and they helped me out. And so they may not be the best nonprofit, but I'm grateful that they helped me and they help other people. They may not help all the people, but they help people. And they, as far as I know, they used to not take advantage of people. I don't know. I always feel like there are other companies out there that are worse. So I gotta take my wins with my losses, right? All right, so we're gonna lay this down. And you can see the glue's kind of coming through there. So I'm gonna take this and make sure it lays down so I don't get glue all over my hands. I am actually making a skirt with this fabric because I have a pair of old cargo pants that is kind of the same weight fabric. And I'm using the cargo pants as the waist and the pockets because I get to have a skirt with pockets. How glorious is that? All right, now I'm gonna let that just kind of hang there. Excuse me. And then I think we'll be safe just putting, if we just kind of take this. Give me a second, I need to get a drink of my coffee and it tinks when I take a drink, so give me a moment. Okay, so what we're gonna do, because I don't want to use Fabri-Tac for this, I want to stay with this glue because this has been doing really good. So we're going to load this up and we're going to kind of just pat it on like this. It's going to take a minute, but that's okay. We got time. And I want to get it, make sure I get it in the corner here. Too bad I didn't have a bigger one. Get this in there. I don't want to put it directly on because I'm afraid it's going to seep through really bad. We can put it directly on this corner though, I think. There we go. All right, let's do a little more. Now this glue is kind of expensive, but I love how it adheres. It's like PVA super glue. Now if you had a brush, that would probably work better, but I don't have a brush handy, so we're just gonna go with what we got, right? I think I'll be able to just put a little bit here like this. So that way we make sure we get that, and I'm just gonna put a little bit here, and then we'll smooch it out really fast. That's actually working better, so learn from my shortcomings. There we go. We'll just kind of smooch this out. All right, I am sorry if I'm off camera a little bit. I just realized how far down I was, but it's laying off the end of the table. That's how big this thing is. All right, let's put that back over there. Move him over here, and we're gonna lay this down just like that. And then we're gonna come in. Oh, I wish I had my proper tool here. Oh, where'd that squeegee? Where'd my bowl scraper go? There it is. We'll use this. This will work. So we're going to take this and get it in the seam there. And then pull that tight. And then lay that down again and smooch it over. So let's do that. I think I have another credit card or something in here. Oh, I don't want to use that. That's my little cutting board. You know what? I got a better idea. We'll use this. This will work. There. There we go. You can slide this down. Okay, so that is I'm going to grab my brayer here in a moment. And I think what I'll do is hit this with a hair dryer. Where'd my brayer go? There he is. That's where you left him, Tish. Jeez. And I might hit this with my hair dryer just to get it to set up. And I don't know if this is going to stay, but we're going to try and make it stay. And what I could do, once we get everything trimmed up and folded over, I can come in with my sewing machine and sew down here, so at least it stays together that way. But we have to wait for the glue to dry. To do that. So I think I am going to hit this with the hairdryer because I want to get this part done so I can get it cut and then get these folded over, get them glued. And I think at that point we will be close to our time limit. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to do my best here. I need to move my mouse and not touch it. I still got to touch it, but all right. That way, we can bring it up a little bit. Let's get this out of the way. Having to reorganize my desk. It's an impromptu cleaning. Okay, there we go. That's as far as I can go, because otherwise I'm hitting my lamp. I think we're pretty good there. Okay. So, we can still go down a little bit. I'm going to hit this with the hair dryer, so it's at least, because it's still really cold. And I want it to stay together. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna mute my microphone because otherwise your ears will get blasted out of the universe. And we're gonna hit this hard. Okay. Okay, now let's do this back panel here. I'm going to move this down so it hangs off the edge of the table. So there we go. It's a little bit more within my reach. And I think, oh, the guys are working on the inclusion today. I forgot about that. So we're going to snip it right there. I don't know if you can hear the ladder in the background. I apologize for that. I forgot that they were coming today. It's been like a 2-week process. But it'll be nice when it's done. Then we don't have to worry about little critters getting into our attic. I should say attics, because this house has multiple attics, which is kind of creepy and cool at the same time. Because there's an attic above the garage, and then there's an attic above the house, and then there's an attic above the 1 bedroom. There we go. All right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to lay this down. And then call it a day and let this dry. Put my pin in there, even though it's getting a little rusty. A little rust never hurt nobody. Okay, so because we have to wait for this to dry, and I don't want to hit the do it with the hair dryer again. This is still damp, so I want to leave it lay flat. But one thing we can do is we can lay this down. And then move some of this glue over here. There we go. Lay this down and then snip the extra that we don't need. Okay, put that over there and let it dry. Then you just peel it right off. Okay, so smooch it over. There we go. Take your piece of parchment. There we go. And then I'll grab my little fabric scissors, my little snippers. I'm rubbing all the glue off my hands. I'll grab my little snips here and we'll just snip this little bit off because it's going to get folded up anyway. We don't want that extra bulk in there. And this little bit can come up too. That way it's not hanging over the edge. There, that's okay. Let's free that out. Okay, so this is going to fold over like this. So, snip that and this. There we go. Let's get our fabric tack out. Actually, let's get this one out. Before we do that, let's let it sit on its side for a minute, and let's get another one of these big tongue depressor popsicle sticks out. And that scissor won't cut it, but this scissor will. That's interesting. That scissor's not it. Where did it go? Oh, Lord have mercy. I would lose my head if it wasn't attached. Maybe this will cut it. We'll see. So I want to make this end straight. Ish. And then right here. There we go. That should fit right in there. Yep. Okay, cool. And then come down. Up. There we go. I'm just going to use my finger for this, but I'm going to smooch it out a little bit so it doesn't soak through. Put a little bit here. Okay. Now we're going to fold this up. Fold this up. And press this down. So it kind of angles up a little bit. There we go. Then we're going to put a piece of parchment down. Excuse me. Well, that's not the stick we wanted. This is the stick we wanted. Actually, let's do it this way. Lift this up. Lord have mercy, come on. There we go. We'll put the stick here. And we'll clamp it down. sure it didn't move. There we go. We need a little guy right there. Just to hold that end down. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and I'll come back up and do the other end when this is dry and I can move it around easily, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because I won't be able to do it on camera. I'm gonna have to do it on like that side of the table. So I won't be able to do it on camera anyway. So I'm gonna let this dry and that way I can reuse this stick over there. I don't have to cut another one. And all the other glue will be set up a little bit better, so I'll feel more comfortable lifting it up. It was making me nervous lifting that up. And when I glue that side, then I'll glue the other end, the spine side, and we'll see how that turns out. So with that being said, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you. Remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.